Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Friendo Club Wrestling. We got another one of these videos talking about CM Punk and AEW. What seemed like a lock. It seemed like it was happening. Got the new show announcement tonight on Dynamite, or this morning at the thing.
Steve, I know CM Punk likes hockey. This seemed like it was an empty net goal opportunity.
Right.
Wide of the net. No goal, seemingly.
No goal yet. So while CM Punk has long been rumored to be the feature attraction at AEW
Collision.
Yeah,
Collision, sorry.
When it debuts on June 17th, there is barely a mention of him today during today's big announcement. In fact, there is only initially one in a press release that was quickly edited to remove his name. When comicbook.com reached out to AEW for comment, they were told that's, quote, CM Punk is not affiliated with TNT's AEW Collision, but maybe they were trying to retain the element of surprise for his return on the debut show, like they did before. It was widely reported. Yeah. They had the first dance, and then he was there, but they had never said in advance.
Yeah, exactly. It makes sense. You know, accidents happen. Sometimes stuff gets in press releases aren't supposed to be there. They edit it out. And they're like, no, he's not going to be there. He's not affiliated with the show in any ways to retain the element of surprise. That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, seemingly unrelated at the time, Fightful Select had a report which stated that CM Punk was advocating for Ace Steel to be brought back to AEW to work on Collision. And so after we wrapped our Q&A video today, that's up on our Going in Raw channel right now, go check it out. PW Insider had a report which stated that Steel was set to return, but this is from PW Insider, quote, the story making the way around AEW backstage today at Dynamite is that a decision was made that Steel would not be working backstage at the actual Collision tapings. As you might imagine, that left Punk and AEW on opposite sides of the discussion, which in turn led to Punk being removed from all promotional material released for the AEW Collision series today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's also a clip from Brian Alvarez, who there's a whole other set of drama there.
Yeah.
Where he seemingly confirmed that there were promotional materials with CM Punk in them. It seemed like it would have been, again, you know, oftentimes with wrestling, the element of surprise is kind of the thing.
Yeah.
It was such a success the first time with Rampage and the First Dance that maybe they would try to replicate that. However, if it's true that promotional materials were drawn up and they're ready to go, and then CM Punk and AEW are like, I want Ace Steel, I don't want Ace Steel. Is it possible that this will go down with no CM Punk because they won't agree on bringing Ace Steel to the tapings?
I mean, so let's get to this Fightful Select bit here, then I'll answer that question.
Okay.
So they confirmed there was promotional materials for Punk made for Collision, and that there was a meeting between Punk and AEW this week where, this is a quote from Fightful Select, it was extended to Punk that Steel would have the ability to be with the company and work directly with Punk. However, it was made clear that Ace Steel would not be able to be on at AEW television.
There, yeah.
We haven't learned specifically how Punk reacted to this outside of him not being in agreement with it. One other detail from this Fightful Select report was that apparently the idea of bringing Ace Steel back was Chris Jericho's brought up during the meeting between himself, Punk, Tony Khan, FTR, who knows who else was there, the Summit, yes.
Summit.
With the idea that if Ace Steel was brought back and all of them could work together, it could be a sign, an example of we can patch things up and we can all work together, do business.
Right, yeah. Yeah. So where does that leave? Oh, another tidbit of info. On tonight's Dynamite, Tony Khan made his big announcement. CM Punk was left out of that announcement, and there were a series of cities where the first set of tapings and live shows for Collision were taking place. Notable also, the city of Regina was listed in those cities. I think it might be Regina.
Just had to point that out, huh?
So,
the detail here is that we'd heard the debut of Collision would be June 17th, United Center, Chicago, Illinois.
Right. And what was the one city left, or the one location left out of all the locations listed on that screen.
June 17th to be announced next week by Tony Khan.
Right. So is the idea that this will be figured out one way or another by next week? Is there a backup plan in case they can't get Punk on the same page? They're like, you know what? We got to book this. We got to book the venue. We got to book the place because there's a deposit on the line. So are they going to pull the trigger on a different location? Because if you're in Chicago June 17th and you don't bring old Phil along, that ain't going to be good for the first show.
Yeah. There'd probably be trash thrown in the ring if that were to happen.
I would imagine so.
I would imagine it's a situation where, assuming it is a case where AEW and Punk at this moment are at odds, not seeing eye to eye.
Right.
That Tony Khan's like, we'll give this a week, see if we can work things out.
Okay.
Not even a week. You get like 5 days because you got to book that building on Monday at the latest. Hold on. And then so we can make the announcement one way or the other on Wednesday. What?
I'll talk direct to Tony here. Okay. Tony, 1 week ain't going to matter because even if you get on the same page with him
for the time being,
something else can happen between now and June. Don't book Chicago, man, because there's no guarantee there won't be another thing that you get that you come to loggerheads over.
Yeah.
That will preclude him from showing up. I don't know. I don't envy Tony Khan in this situation because look, I understand from a business perspective, you've got what seems to be a new TV. Well, there is a new TV deal because he's got a new show. There would probably be an actual long-term TV deal being announced pretty shortly. And from the reporting we've read, the people at Warner Brothers Discovery, who's about to give you this, maybe a bill, they like Punk and they want him to come back. But this sounds like a freaking headache.
You got
really
that right.
Does.
Yeah, you got that right.
It sounds like a headache.
I mean, you'd hope. It's being optimistic. After Brawl Out, after the media scrum, all that. People take time away, take an opportunity to reflect on what happened.
Maybe touch some grass.
Maybe touch some grass. Get out there. Touch some grass, as Phil advocated for us wrestling fans to do on Instagram.
Maybe look in the mirror on that one there. I don't know.
Yeah, he said that while sitting on his couch. Come on, Phil. You'd hope, not think, hope, that a moment like this where there's a real opportunity to reflect and think, how could I have done things differently? Or at least, what can I learn from this? As Phil famously said to Tony Khan, we're all learning here, Tony.
We're all learning.
And if all this is true, and CM Punk is so just firm on the idea of Ace Steel coming back and working with him at AEW again, and he's willing to throw everything else away.
Yeah.
I understand Ace Steel is his friend, but Ace Steel also bit somebody. And I don't really care what the circumstances are. If you bit somebody at the job or bite somebody on the job, you're probably not getting your job back.
From sitting here and look, and here's the thing, we can get you guys, the CM Punk fans in the crowd here watching, you guys can light us up in the comments if you want, but you're looking at number one CM Punk fan back in the day. It's just what I see, what I am witnessing for the past 9 months is from the media scrum and on is just, behavior that just doesn't seem like it's a good fit there in AEW. It just doesn't. Because on top of all the drama today, I'm not even going to get into it, but there was like a bunch of Instagram stories, something involving Brian Alvarez from like 17 years ago or something. And I don't know if the frustrations of the day might have fed into that particular drama. I don't know. I personally don't care. It's all a bunch of silliness. But yeah, it just sounds like unnecessary drama.
And here's
Like it feels like a power play,
It
right?
does.
Doesn't it?
It
That's
does.
what I'm sorry. I was taking the scenic route.
Yeah.
It just feels like I want my way. I'm unwilling. That's what it sounds like, anyways.
Yeah. No, it from the outside looking in, based on the information available to us. Yeah, it does seem that way, and it's another instance where it seems like maybe something has been worked out, and yet drama happens.
Yeah.
It's like the third instance I can think of some news getting out about CM Punk, or some report getting about CM Punk, and he takes to Instagram to unload. It was the thing Belser put on the message board about him not seeing Rocky and having issues with the booking with Mox when he came back, and it just seems like things will settle down, won't be any news, something will happen, and there's a fork in the road where he can just ignore it and be like, all right, well, I'm coming back when I'm coming back, so I'm not going to worry about this stuff.
Yeah.
Or he unloads, and seemingly every chance he chooses to unload, just like he did at the media scrum.
Yeah.
And just like he did today.
And I get wanting to defend yourself. What seemingly happened today with Alvarez, I have no idea what prompted it. It seemed like
I'm guessing Punk saw the clip on Twitter.
Oh, about the
graphics
promotional
and
material
stuff,
stuff. Alvarez saying, and then he just brings up some super old stuff, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. You're probably right. You're probably right. So I don't know. I mean, that just seems like, I don't know. Well, I saw the clip, and I'm not a fan of Brian Alvarez.
No.
But I didn't see anything particularly. It didn't seem like there was a grudge playing out there.
No.
He just seemed like he was speculating on what the situation was, given what he had. I don't know. That seemed like a reasonable assessment. Look, I'm not in CM Punk's shoes, and I've said this before. Having that much pressure on you, might turn you into a bit of a Kendall Roy, where it sort of makes you crack a little bit, and then you tweet something out. The tweeting is Madsen, really, but maybe you feel the need to defend yourself against accusations.
Yeah.
And that's how you do it.
I understand. I mean, you go back to the media scrum, and it's one thing to defend himself against accusations that he tried to get Colt Cabana let go. And there's a way to do it where you just say, you can do it in a sentence.
Yeah.
Any news or rumors you've heard of me being involved in Colt Cabana not working for AEW anymore are categorically false, and anybody that tells you otherwise is lying to you. Full stop. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, right.
That's you defending yourself.
Yeah, right.
You don't have to say anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And rather than basically burying the entire company that employs you, which is what he did after.
And a ton of other people.
And a ton of
who were just collateral damage along the way.
So, there's a way to defend yourself that you go out there, you state clearly, I did not do this, or this is false, and you leave it at that.
Yeah, right.
Rather than just dumping.
Yeah.
But that just seems to be, of late, as we've seen multiple times, how he approaches things. And it seems like at no point has there been any amount of reflection thinking, maybe this isn't the best tack to take.
Yeah. I mean, it just screams a person who believes, and seemingly correctly, that they have all the leverage and they can get what they want. And it remains to be seen how that plays out. It remains to be seen if he's going to get everything he wants. And he might. Tony Khan might feel, I just made this big announcement. We've got a huge show. You also have a really deep roster of people you could build up to that level. And to be honest with you, Punk was back for 7-8 months, wrestled 20 matches, and he was injured. He came back, and he was injured within 2 matches, one of which was a 2-minute squash.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I don't know. It's going to be interesting, because here's the thing. This is we report on the product. This affects the product, and we report on the business of the product, and this is the business of the product. And this is where we see it from the outside looking in, based off of some fairly credible reporting on the situation.
Yeah.
So, however it plays out, it'll be interesting. We're going to keep tabs on it.
Definitely.
And there you go.
Yep. We'll have the latest if any new details arise tomorrow in our Dynamite recap. And of course, throughout the coming week, I guess next Wednesday is going to be the huge tell. Whether they announce Chicago or some other city in the United States for that debut episode.
And if they announce a different city, I still don't think that precludes Punk from coming back.
No.
It just won't be coming back to a big Chicago crowd.
Yeah, it won't guarantee, more or less,
Yeah.
Punk's coming back. But then, as you said, they can agree to Chicago and work things out, and something else could happen in the next 3 weeks. So.
I mean, there could be a breaking point for Tony Khan. There could be a breaking point for CM Punk. But we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out if such a point exists and what it is.
Because seemingly there's no point. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching. Check out one of the other videos that's floating around here. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.